All right, this next story may sound like something out of, well, a Hollywood thriller. A Saudi inventor has created a killer microchip. It's designed to track terrorists and criminals and, well, you can think of somebody. Not only does it include a GPS device, it also has a lethal dose of cyanide, which can be activated at any time. You get my point? The inventor's bid for a patent has been rejected in Germany. Joining us now this morning to talk about it, Jake Ward, deputy editor of Popular Science. Okay, this is pretty macabre, pretty sinister and nefarious. How exactly would this work?
Well, there's a category of technology that involves GPS tracking systems being shrunk down to the size where you could actually implant it surgically. And we've seen a number of applications for this. This is without question the most sinister version of it that I've certainly heard of. You know, and the notion of tracking criminals is not new, but the notion of killing them remotely, I think, is a whole new thing.
Yeah, and Germany says, look, we're not going to approve this.
That's
because
right.
For that very purpose. And apparently, in some of the paperwork in applying for the patent, you know, you could track fugitives from justice, terrorists, illegal immigrants, criminals, political opponents, defectors, and Saudi Arabians who don't return home from pilgrimage. It's a little bit wild.
I agree. I mean, the thing about you know, this kind of patent is Germany has very tight laws about making sure that you're not registering something that really is just a bad idea, a scary idea. And in this case, this guy obviously has some very strong feelings about what it would be used for, but it just seems a little outlandish.
Yeah. Well, terrorist groups might be interested. I'm sure they'd be happy to grant their own form of a patent for that.
Sure.
The bigger world, though, of GPS, talk to us about how it's being used to, for example, track sex offenders?
Sure. The Washington State Legislature right now is considering the possibility of registering perhaps 100 sex offenders with a GPS chip that's implanted in their shoulder because they've found that a few of them have been wearing them on their wrists and then have cut them off, which just defeats the purpose. And so, but the larger world of this technology is actually pretty happy stuff. I mean, there is new technology for tracking Alzheimer's patients, you know, who
who may wander away.
Right. Right.
Sure.
Tracking the vital signs of professional athletes from the sideline. You know, there's been a couple of cases in which, you know, football players have collapsed of heat exhaustion, and seeing the early warning signs of that, there's technology that sort of allows you to do that remotely. You know, even something as benign as keeping track of your dog, you know, a radio frequency tag implanted in your pet, the vet, you know, finds a stray, scans it, and finds its rightful owner in an instant.
Yeah. Do you see an explosion of the use of GPS devices? And obviously a lot of people are concerned about an intrusion of privacy.
Absolutely, sure. I mean, I think that there is a trade-off there, and obviously this you know, the inventor who filed for this patent has gone across the line in terms of privacy. Yeah. But the use of GPS in the future will allow you to, you know, you'll never lose your wallet again. You'll never lose your keys again. Right. It's that kind of stuff where you're going to, you know, you'll be able to beep any object you own, you know, and find it in the house. And so, you know, there's the vicious expression, and then there's the really helpful expression that I think we'll see in the future.
You know, I lose socks in the dryer. I don't know how that happens. Maybe that would help me in that regard. Thanks. Jake Ward, deputy editor of Popular Science. Interesting stuff. Thanks very much.
I've got my little buddies microchipped.
Do you really?
Yeah. I do, just in case they get away, and then you bring them and you take them to like the checkout counter at the grocery store, and you scan them, and then they say, I belong to Megyn Kelly.
That is very cool, yeah. Bailey and Basha.
Something like that.